All right, nice having you back. In the previous video, we actually did create this particular part right here, which I believe you must have watched. And what we did here was just to actually try to track the rate of return and as well how much we had actually returned back to customers that returned some couple of products back to us, which is something negative, right? Okay, now what we want is for we to actually look at how many products we have in stock that is under sales, and we want to see the total transaction we've made over time and the average revenue per product and as well per transaction, which is something very simple that anyone can create. So in case you don't know about that, let me show you how to quickly create that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and insert a measure right here. And with this particular new measure, we're going to be calculating the total product. But before we do that, let me make you understand something. So I'm going to click off from here. So now we need to look at two different tables. So we have the product table right here. This is where all the products we are selling is being stored at. So every single product here is very unique. There is no double products right here, right? Which means we cannot see this particular Contoso wireless laser mouse E50 gray twice. It can only appear once right here. So which means this particular table can be counted to know how many products we have. But unfortunately, if you do that, you're going to be wrong. So let's go to a different table. Right here, we have the fact sales table, which is our transactional table. And over here, we have what we call product key right in here. So it will be an ideal for you to actually count how many products you sell or you have sold inside this table than counting it on the table that stores the product's name. So let me show you why. If you try to actually count from here, so let's quickly go over here. Now create a new measure. I'm going to show you the proof. So this is going to be numbers of product. So I'm going to do that on the product table. So if I want to do that on the product table, we can actually do count rows, or we can do count. Let us do count rows and do count and see the difference. What is the difference? So what will be the count looking for? The count is looking for a particular column, which means it's asking us to base our count on a single column from that particular table. And I'm going to put it on product, and I'll count the product key from that table, which is this. So now I'm going to push this in to my table right here. So this is the numbers of product we are selling. We have over 1,690 products, and this is how many products we have for each brand right here. And what we did here was just to use the count function to count the product key. And the same thing we have done right here, right now. Let's do something a bit different from here. But instead of us to count from the product table right now, we are counting from a different table. So this time around, let us do numbers of product 2. So over here, I'm going to do distinct count. So the question is this: why am I doing distinct count? The product key we have in the fact sales table or our transactional table has duplicate values. We want to only count the unique list of values. So I'm going to do product key again, and this one is going to be from the fact table, product key, hit the enter key, and let us look at what this is going to give to us. So we're going to do comma separator for we to have this particular 1,000 separated for us. And if I do this, can you see this, the difference now? So the values here doesn't look the same. Can you see? This one is giving us 1,690, while this one is giving us 1,690. This one is giving us 1,689. So what is this telling us? So the correct one now should be what? Please, can you guess? Both of them are correct, in case you want to know. But one is actually something that we are looking for. what our company or what our manager wants to see is that how many products have we sold, not how many products do we have. If we are looking forward to how many products we have, it will be based on this particular 690 here, and 1689 here is the one we have sold. So which means we have a particular product that has not left the shelf ever since we brought it into our warehouse. So how can we find out which particular product is that? It's very simple. Let me help you track it. So to track that product that has never been sold right now, you're going to add a new measure. This time around, we're going to type in unsold. Unsold product. So here is going to be this particular product here. We subtract it from this very product and we hit our enter key to find the unsold product. It's just one. The difference is one. So we're going to bring it in here. So as you can see, it's actually on this particular brand right here. We have one. So to find out which particular product had never left the store since we brought it in, we are going to actually do something. Let's quickly go to our product table and bring in the product's name in here. So it's going to look huge like this, no problem. So what we can do now is to swap it by coming over here, take this one and keep it right somewhere around here. So once we have this, I'm going to do this here. So now for we to scroll through is a lot of work. So what we can do is to click over here and go over to sort by and sort by unsold product. And here we find it. Can you see? Over here, it does not have any product. Over here, we have one because this is the one that is counting the total products we have. This one is counting from the fact sales table. And over here, there is no record for the revenue that we've made from it. So which means if we are to actually say what product is it now, this is the product right here. The compact digital camera M200 Black. This very one right here from this brand has never been sold. So we can track it on our store to actually look at the date and see if it is going close to expiring date wherever. Maybe we auction it, or I don't know, something like that. So this is what you can do with it. So on a real sense, let's go ahead and remove this one to make sure we have something more compressed. So on a real sense now, the one that we should be using, we only want to calculate, depends on what we want to find. This particular one that is counting product key is when we want to know how many products we have inside our store. If we are looking forward to how many we have sold over time, maybe we have 10 products and we've sold 5, then this is what we need to use. Count the product keys from the fact sales or where you record your daily transaction right in, because every single sales you make would actually remove a particular key from the product table into your transactional table and store it right there, and that is a record you can actually count, which is something very, very simple. So do you get it right now? Very simple. Okay, let us quickly count the numbers of transactions we have made over time. It's very simple again, so and I believe anybody can do this. So transaction here should be count rows. Count rows will count the numbers of rows we have inside our fact table. As simple as that. Let's quickly go ahead and do comma separator for it. And we can drag this in. So we have over 2.2 million rows, and for every single branch, those are the numbers that is peculiar to the transaction we've had on them. So, and this is something straightforward, very simple. You don't have to do much work to get this done. Can you see it right now? So the next thing we're going to do right now is to look at the average revenue per transaction. The average revenue we have generated per transaction, and it is something very, very simple. So to calculate the average revenue per transaction now, we do the divide function here, and what we do is to divide our total sales or revenue. So here is total revenue. So we do that by the numbers of transaction we've had. That is all you need to do. So this one now would give you the average numbers of revenue, or we have, or sales, whatever we have actually generated. So I'm going to put it on comma separator, then bring it in here. So can you see it now? So here on average, this is how much we are making on average. This is it here. Remember, this is the total revenue here. That is 629.4 million. And here is giving us just 3,162.37 here as the average per transaction, right? This is something very, very simple. So if you want to look at average revenue per product, so we already have numbers of products right here. So the one we're going to use now is this particular product 2. So what we need to do is to quickly replicate what we have done here, copy, and we'll create a new one. So instead of we having transaction, so we have product, and over here we just do product 2. And once we hit our enter key, this will give us the average revenue per product, right? So we do comma separator as well. So we can drag this in, and this gives us what we want. Can you see? For every single product, we have how many products? 131 products. The average revenue there is actually 4.8. This one, 28, 8 point something. So this is how it is. And I believe this particular part would give you every single thing you need to know about. It's the simplest, measure calculation inside Microsoft or Power BI rather. So if this helps you, please do subscribe, share to your friends and family, like, and leave a comment. Let me know what you actually think about what we have done right here. See you in my other videos.